Thanks for staying with us here on Joy News Prime. I'm Ernest Mino. Now, his siblings sacrificed their education for him to complete school with the hope of securing a job to cater for the family. But after completion, he explored many opportunities to get a job without success. This is the story of 30-year-old Oscar Kakari, a university graduate who has been unemployed for 3 years. In Joy News' latest documentary titled Job for the Boys, Joy Prime's Emmanuel Jiveno has been engaging Oscar and other youth struggling to keep body and soul together.
Governments have always been aware that young people need to be supported in employment, and so programs on youth employment go back as far as Nkrumah's administration. He had programs that combined both economic and social issues for young people. He had the Young Farmers League, for instance, the Young Pioneers. These were also political, associations as well. But they all showed evidence that we needed to pay attention to young people and to make sure that they were in the right positions in society.
30-year-old Oscar is one of the millions of unemployed young Ghanaians. He lives here at Konkomba Bolatop, a growing slum in the Greater Accra region of Ghana.
My name is Oscar Perilous Kakari, and I'm 30 years old, and I'm the first son of my parents.
Oscar completed his tertiary education in 2017, but has never been in a long-term employment. While on the academic ladder, he never imagined that a search for a job in a resource-rich country will be a daunting task.
After graduation, it's been 3 years now, unemployed. Talking about this white-collar job. I've tried many possibilities, send my CVs to institutions, I send them online through Gmail, but I don't get any reply from them. So I have to just hustle, as in find ways and means to feed. Sometimes I have to starve to just sleep, so that I hope that the next day I might get fed or something like that. So I have to sleep overnight, or sometimes I have to drink water.
Oscar struggled to put himself through school with support from a single mother.
When I was in school, secondary school, I was owing, I think, 1,003, and my mom took me to Sheikh Sikwe. He was the one who paid for my institution in Temasco, and I got admission to Accra Poly. For that one, I have to work and go to school at the same time. When I was going to school, I hope that my certificate will grant me this white-collar job. But I think during the line, things changed. My sister has to drop out of school just for me to graduate. And after graduation, this sacrifice, after my sister sacrificing her education for me to graduate, after that I don't get a job. It seems a bit stressful and depressed. When you go for an interview and they ask you where do you stay, you don't have to lie, you have to say the truth. And when you tell them you are from Konkomba Bolatop, they have this bad perception that you're a bad boy. And in so doing, you don't get much youth to be employed. There are so many youth in these ghettos that are very smart, and they have qualification, but due to some small circumstances, this is where life has brought them.
The truth is, the country's economy simply cannot absorb him and millions of other graduates. He is pushed to the edge of society to slum it hard in this shanty town. He and his cousin survived by cleaning silver jewelry for a poultry.
As for my junior brother, I was the one who advised him to use his handiwork, that is silver shining and necklaces making. Yeah, so just over there you see a small shop. Yeah, that's how you benefit. When we get a customer, we wash one chain is 10 cedi or 5 cedi. Yeah. we feed on that, hand to mouth. I can't go back to depend on my mom since she's now feeding like 2 people now, and I'm the oldest. I need to prove something to them, so I have to just come outside and hustle. A friend gave me this place to come and lay my head on. I don't want to go back home looking disappointed to my mom.
Oscar is thinking of where the day's meal will come from. Just like other slum dwellers here, 3 square meal is simply a luxury to Oscar. Today, they are lucky to have a tin of milk to add to their regular meal. Statistics revealed from the labor force survey conducted by the Ghana Statistical Service in 2015 and launched in 2017 indicate that the rate of unemployment as at the end of 2015 is pegged at 11.9% of the labor force. It shows that whilst 25.9% of the unemployed are youth, about 11.7% of the employed population are underemployed. Unemployment remains a global issue confronting both developed and developing countries. Unemployment has been found to be closely related to the lack of adequate education. Sadiq Adams is a broadcast journalist and a youth development advocate. His reporting career has allowed him the opportunity to observe with great concern the worrying trend of rural-urban migration and youth unemployment.
You cannot have an education system that constantly produces graduates who come to sister home for 15 years and their expertise are going waste. You cannot continue to have over 60% of your labor force going about and wandering and not knowing exactly what to do to put food on their tables. We have large members of the family in the villages who want to do farming but do not have the enabling environment to do. So they have to move to the cities to choke up the cities and then create a very, very unconducive country that we all live in. And this is what we have constantly been calling for, that the politicians who are at the helm of power need to design a very perfect system that other countries have also done.
The streets of the central business district of Accra hold the livelihoods of hundreds of Ghanaians.
Emma
23-year-old Razak dropped out of school due to the inability of his parents to sponsor his education. Today, Razak makes these sandals for sale on the street of Accra.
Me myself, I just hustle from childhood to this, so every day I hustle. I don't get one day cry, they feel good cry, every day I hustle. Because when I start from school, for the meantime, at the complete school, I don't get anybody to help me, so I want to start hustle. I start hustle by myself. Every day I hustle. That's why I see myself. When the moment I wrote BC, when I see my back, I don't get nobody to help me, so I just start hustle. It will be better for me to hustle, so I can't say anything. Be hustle racing away the inside.
He traveled from his village in the Ashanti region to seek a future in sandals making in the capital, Accra. The 23-year-old laments the infiltration of the market with foreign goods. He has lost many of his customers and gradually throwing him out of business.
1 for 20 Ghana. You go buy this thing, buy this. You do and finish, nothing there inside. But still now, you get some small things there inside. That's why you are seeing this thing there, nothing there inside. Nothing there inside. When I get a job today, I stop this. So this one, you see. Is it not a good job? It's a good job, but the material, those people bring the materials, This one, they cost you go buy this, you buy selection, you buy bona, you buy this.
The moment you do and finish, nothing there inside. So you are doing for them. Those people go bring the goods. You are doing for them. You know, those people go back, bring the leathers and the bonnet from China. No, the thing they cost. So you come buy them. You won't do them small. You know, nothing there inside. When I get a job today, I'll stop them.
Cannot be traveling to Libya, to Singapore, to China, to go and import things and come back home and sell to people who can produce same. I think we are in a very, very bad situation as a country now, and we must begin to think that if we do not wake up now, the future will be very, very, very bleak. It's already bleak. It's very gloom, and it's a point in time that Ghanaians, and especially the youth, who we coin as the future of the country, needs to take the future up.
The COVID-19 impact on the economy has only made things worse. Most businesses are not in the position to hire.
Due to this coronavirus outbreak, the factory I was working with, they laid off some workers, and I was part of them, so I have to come home. I was a machine operator. Yeah.
What machine is that?
We used to print on these sachet rubbers, these pure water sachet rubbers, and these plastic bottles. Yeah, so I was the one operating on it.
Ghana, just like many African markets, has become the dumping ground for all kinds of goods from developed countries, all in the name of free trade.
The things they no go help us, especially the China goods. The others this one, somebody can hold it. You ask you know it be China. Until you go talk, you understand, until you buy them.
Established and large companies have taken all the bright spots, flooding the market with their finished goods, which are much cheaper than those manufactured locally, forcing many local industries to close down. Because of this situation, people like Razak and his friends are left frustrated and disillusioned as it becomes difficult to compete.
You go buy leather, one year small thing, you mark out, you don't get nothing. You go buy this one, you go buy this, you go buy this. The moment you finish, you don't get nothing. So you don't get nothing from maybe someone will come and buy them. This one be 20 Ghana. The whole price will be 20 Ghana. You can sell them 25 and you get 5 cedis. That will be a social. The China, they can do this type of China. This Ghana, they can do the same type. You are selling 20 Ghana, you can sell China one, you can sell 10 cedis.
Ghana is known for its high dependence on imports for domestic consumption since gaining independence in 1957. The country was ranked 78 in terms of imports in the world in 2013 and 2014. Its dependence on imports is also signified by the increasing negative trade balances. The weak economy has pushed the country towards several IMF directives of restructuring Eurobonds and Chinese loans, with the interest payment sucking practically all of Ghana's export revenues. Ghana has an abundance of non-renewable natural resources such as cocoa, gold, timber, bauxite, manganese, industrial diamonds, and more recently crude oil, but with little economic growth. The present question for many individuals such as Razak, Oscar, and the millions of Ghanaian youth is whether our natural resources are a blessing or a curse.
Our leaders misuse our natural resources in certain ways that when, like example, cocoa, when they import and export, the money they get, they invest directly into political businesses. And sometimes during this election, they dash out, they bribe some of the youth just to cause violence during elections. And I think instead of bribing the youth, why don't you find that individual a job to do? Instead of bribing them, why don't you give them work to do? The government can come up with any structure or any terms of building a manufacturing company that can help the youth to be employed. If you build a manufacturing company, you can train them in specification. to help them to operate on machines, maybe carting or carrying of loads. In so doing, they have something to do.
Due to high cost of accommodation in Accra, Razak cannot hire any decent place to live.
If someone rent for me, I would like them, but me myself, no, there, I can't. Maybe Accra, you want to go and rent a house with the cost, you know, you can't. Always, we dey sleep outside. All the time, we dey outside. So until we sleep, you know, maybe 1 or 2:30. Maybe some people are roaming about. We are sleeping in the market too. Some people are roaming about until they be quiet, until you sleep. So you two stand up maybe 3:30. They are out, Charlie. But maybe it's mosquito and others. Until you go and you are sick, it be bad, it be risky.
Renting now, one single room is almost a year. I think it's 2,000 or 18,000, 8,008 or 2,000. And I don't think I have that income on me. I can't rent for now.
Due to the rising levels of unemployment in the country, many of the young people continue to risk their lives on perilous journeys across the Sahara Desert to Europe. Others continue to participate in the American DV visa lottery.
The same suffer they suffer there, you suffer the same thing here. But by the end of the day, they come down and you realize they earn more than you. So when you had a chance, it's always good to go there. But I also advise you come back and then establish here.
Ghana there he had, Ghana we are suffering. Since this government come, business all spoil. We no go get, if you were to do business, no money, no nothing, with the tire nothing. And so we want to travel, then we go find our future.
I have come to the University of Ghana, Legon, to seek answers to the nagging problems underpinning Ghana's development. Dr. Nana Ekuya Anidoho is the director of the Center for Social Policy Studies and a senior research fellow with the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE.
In 2005, we had the National Youth Employment Program, which in 2012 became the Ghana Youth Employment and Entrepreneurship Development Agency. So all of these programs show that successive administrations recognize that youth unemployment is a particular challenge that needs to be addressed.
Dr. Anidoho believes many policies introduced by successive governments have failed to address unemployment challenges due to their politicization.
If a large segment of the working population is unemployed or underemployed, which is also another issue, then young people are competing with older people for jobs, right? So you need to fix the larger economy to make sure that it is producing jobs generally. You can't produce jobs just for young people. It doesn't work that way. Apart from that, in terms of the impact of the policies, they are often politicized, so that's a problem, makes them ineffective. Secondly, they are politicized in terms of who benefits, and they are politicized in the fact that they can be suspended or cut off or reshaped into a new program because some other administration has come into power.
Many analysts have described Ghana's unemployment figures as a threat to national security.
At this point, I think that majority of the Ghanaian youth have given up based on the conversations we've had. But I don't think giving up is a solution. We are at the point where we need to stand up and come together and realize that the future is ours. If we give up, what will be the future of our the next generation, our children, our grandchildren? We cannot give up. There are people who fought and liberated this land. We have come to a point where people are unconcerned about the future because a very few of them are living lavishly and stealing money that belongs to the people. So we cannot give up. What we need to do is to come together, have a very powerful voice as a youth, because the politician needs votes. And once we are together in large numbers at the youth, trying to force them to be accountable and trying to let them focus on specific areas that can help in transforming this country, then the future that we seek will be realized.
Something has to change. This nation needs a revolution, not with guns or violence, but a revolution of ideas, a certain sense of anger that will change the way our government manage the resources of the state. That's our show for tonight. Many thanks for your company.